I'm Jemmy, and I want to welcome you to my channel and my very first speed paint on this channel. So what I'm drawing today here is Bowsette, who is just blowing up social media right now, and I wanted to throw my hat into that ring. She just looked like she'd be so much fun to draw, and it'd be just kind of fun to get in with it, what everybody else is excited about right now. So I just had to do it, and it kind of was good timing for me because I really was kind of feeling a little under the weather, and I wanted to practice using my mobile tablet. It's a Samsung S3 with the pressure sensitivity. This is done in Artflow. So I am by no means an expert, as this is the second piece I've done in Artflow. And the first piece was more of a realism study, and this one's more of an illustrative piece. So we're gonna just go through this, and I'll explain kind of what's going on. And also maybe just some things about my art, since this is my very first speed paint. So I am gonna do commentary over my speed paints because those are the videos I like to watch, and I've just always, the advice is make the videos you would want to watch. So I love the ones where the artist talks to you, even if it's about personal stories or just about what they're doing. So this hair that we're watching me draw, or just finished drawing, it was a mess for me, and I still think it's kind of a mess in the end, but you know, it was just supposed to be a fun sketch. I wasn't focused on making my magnum opus of pieces. I just wanted to have some fun and kind of enjoy an afternoon of painting. I will say there will be some weird jumps in the video because I did start and stop, because like I said, I wasn't feeling too good, so there will be some weird jump video as I started and stopped recording. And pretty much all the recording is everything that I did do, though. I did make sure that I was recording what I was doing. Back to that hair, like I'm just, it's gonna be a problem for me. And I did edit out of this video for time's sake, me just kind of, when I'm doing line art, which shouldn't be too far ahead from where we are now, you'll see it just jumps. That's because I spent a lot of time trying to fix the hair when I was on the line art stage. That is a big no-no, and that's part of the reason I cut it out. I don't want to show that kind of bad habit and encourage other people to do that. Like, I do not want people to pick that up. So I was like, no, I'm gonna cut that out. Normally I'm fine with showing my mistakes, and there's a lot of mistakes made in this piece. I'm working on the eyes right now, as we can see, and they are a little cross-eyed, but it still feels like she's sort of looking at you. So I just kind of left it. Again, I didn't really want to heavy hand over edit this, and towards the end I really started feeling like I was really overworking the piece, and I'm like, no, just leave it for what it is. It's cute. It's supposed to be just a quick little illustration. Enjoy it for what it is. This leg gave me a little trouble because it just didn't quite look right over and over and over, and then, you know, you got to keep changing that butt shape. You know, you want a good looking butt, but I don't want too much of a butt. Princess Peach isn't like, although Bowsette is a little bit of a thicker girl in a lot of the fan art, and I do appreciate that, but I didn't want it to look like she had a shelf back there more than just a luscious booty. So just a few more quick corrections, and I think I should be starting the line art portion of this pretty quick. Here we are, like adding more to the hair, like trying to just, it turns into a sketchy mess if you look at that, which really doesn't help me either. So I should have really kind of erased that out and started over with the hair down the back. And it actually causes problems with me painting later on the part that isn't her hair, and that is her back. So I will say that my line art skills are not on point. Which is another reason, like if you saw the first video, I was doing Inktober prep in that. I didn't draw anything, so if you're just here for speed paints and stuff, I don't recommend that. But if you like art haul and talking about art supplies, that video is there, and that's kind of what I'm going to be sticking with for Inktober. I don't feel like my line art's on point. It needs a lot of work, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do Inktober, is to kind of work on that and get more comfortable with illustrations that have line art, because I tend to shy away from line art because it's a weak point for me. That's how I hide. I don't do beautiful line art. And not too long ago, a few seconds ago, we saw that I had some weird stuff going over there on the side. There it is again. That is me, because I am not familiar with Artflow and I've only used it once. I don't know the brushes. I don't know what they kind of look like and what I can do with them. So like sometimes I just have to like put the brush down and see what it is and hit the undo button, and hope for the best. I tried to usually pause the video so it wasn't a part of the speed paint, but obviously for time's sake, some of those in. So that's all I can say about that. I will say I do like Artflow. There are some things that I wish were different about the program. Like I can use the volume buttons on my tablet for undo. I really wish I could use the button on the pen for undo, because that's kind of how I have it. No, I don't have that on my main monitor tablet, because I'm very familiar with Photoshop and I use that with ease, and so that's kind of probably part of my Artflow problem, is I'm used to the bougie experience that is Photoshop on a desktop with a drawing monitor. So it's like everything comes out looking a lot cleaner and nicer than this final product did. But I had a lot of fun. I still am kind of proud of the piece, especially since it was kind of a down day for me, which is one of those things where I have to learn also to accept maybe less than perfect pieces when I'm down. And like this isn't a commission or anything, so it's okay to kind of have down pieces and give myself a little breathing room just to have fun and not worry about perfection so much. So we're getting into coloring right now. You're gonna see that I'm blocking in color first. I don't really like what's going on with these pen tools here, and I'm gonna end up erasing this several times for her, like, what do we call this? Corset? It's more like a leotard that doesn't, I just, like, the way it keeps layering is annoying me, so I'm like, no, I gotta start over. I figured out how to kind of get it right, so we're going with a dark blue, even though it is black, but there's no real true black, and I felt like that would be a little better. It was kind of like a purpley blue tone. What else can I say about this? Yeah, so here I'm going in with the skin now, and I'm just kind of getting some red tones in and trying to figure out what skin tone color to pick. And I kind of wanted her to have a yellowish hue to sort of match with Bowser's like tummy area and his face more than, and I didn't draw a shell in here, and I kind of sort of regret that I didn't do some kind of shell or something to kind of really replace that. But I didn't, because I had to do a complex pose with the booty, so I really wanted to kind of show that off, because if I did that, I'd have to either hide the hair, which, you know what, in retrospect, that probably would have saved me a lot of trouble with that hair if I had done the shell, because then a lot of the hair would have been hidden. These were mistakes made. As you can see, I'm painting rather sloppily in this because, again, I'm not very familiar with the software, so I don't really know what I can and can't do with it. At this point, if you have had a thought about why everything is sort of this weird tan color, I like to color and paint and draw on midtones, even though weirdly enough I prefer white paper for my actual physical sketchbooks. I prefer like a little brown midtone for when I'm working on the computer and digital services. It's just easier on my eyes, and I tend to find it easier to see mistakes and little splotches and things like that, so I can easily get back to those when it's time to clean up the illustration. this back here, you're gonna see me keep coming back to it to reshade things and reshape it. Right now, it's just gonna look like a hunchback mess, and I guess her shell hasn't quite grown out of her back. We'll just say that. But no, yeah, it just ends up being kind of a mess right there, and it will stay a mess until pretty close to the end. I even filmed a little extra where I just go in and fix that, because I just was like, I can't leave that set. You know, I can leave some other mistakes like the cross-eyed. I can leave those mistakes, but I cannot leave the hunchback. That's got to go. I spent, I think, most of the time working on her face and her skin in this illustration, and I just seen that orange dot go down on the side, and that will stay. I'm so sorry for you people who are going to be driven crazy by that. That does stay till close to the very end. I couldn't find it on the layer, and so I didn't get around to erasing it till pretty close to the end. I don't know why I was coloring in her pupil area white. I actually started coloring that, and I was like, wait, no, it's the eyeball that's white. Why am I doing this? I'm like, whatever, we're cleaning it out for when I go back to paint that later. But I don't know, that was a weird mistake that I was making. I guess it wasn't really a mistake because I do fix it later, but it was odd for me, and it just a little funny joke to kind of talk about, that it's like sometimes you get in the zone and you kind of don't realize what you're painting and coloring. Pretty soon you should see the sketch layer disappear. Well, no, it might still be a few more minutes, but there was a point where I was like, okay, I can let go of the sketchy lines underneath and kind of work from here, because I've kind of got everything going. Some of this stuff right now with the skin is pretty subtle, so it's hard to kind of see what I'm doing, and some of these colors stay, some of them don't. I just constantly like tweak and tweak and tweak, and this is kind of a lesson. I was really overworking this piece. It was supposed to be just a simple like little line art, and I will even admit the sketch and the line art isn't amazing, and I should have kind of not spent as much time on this as I did, but I was having so much fun. She's a very cute character, and I do think the final product was very, very, very cute. And I think something else I would like to start working on, though, is zooming in more. I think that would have really kind of helped me get a lot more clean lines and a lot more in there, and get in there a little more. Now that I'm looking at her eyes and stuff now, it reminds me of Legend of Zelda more than like Mario and Princess Peach and stuff. So that's very interesting. Let's see, what am I working on right now? I can't even tell from, it's probably the skin, because everything gets really subtle, and I'm just like blending and shading, because I really, really wanted some soft skin on her. Because that's just what's deemed beautiful, and skin is very soft, and it's got very subtle transitions, where more shiny objects tend to have like harsher transitions with the colors, and that's kind of what makes it appear to be more shiny. For anybody who's looking for a little bit of an art tip, that's a tip from me, or at least that's how I usually achieve that effect. I'm sure there's some shiny objects where you could use a combination of soft and hard to really ramp it up and change the effect, though. But let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, I guess I should talk about some design choices. So I decided I wanted to go with the blonde hair peach. Honestly, personally, for a lot of the fan arts and stuff, I liked the red-haired peach, or Bowsette, I should say, version, but I don't know, was feeling on like drawing a blonde. I usually don't draw blondes, and I actually had the intention, and I didn't actually do it, is I wanted to go in later and add red tips actually to her hair, and I really wish I had now that I'm going back and doing this voiceover, but I did not. Honestly, I struggled so much with that hair anyways, it probably just was best that I just abandoned that. It's just one of those things sometimes you just have to give up on. That's a very important lesson, you know. Sometimes you gotta accept less than perfect. I'm hoping to learn that from Inktober is not to overwork, and sometimes just accept that there will be little imperfections and there will be things to note and work on and be like, I need to be better at that later or next time or in the pieces I do in the future. Now, right now I'm doing some cleanup work on this piece, cleaning up those. I leave those lines messy on the armband and the bracelet. Oh, here's a huge mistake I made. I was painting on the wrong layer. I was coloring on the line art layer, and so it created this problem, and I'm desperately have to weirdly try to fix this mess. And I don't know if I really fixed it or not, but it definitely caused problems, and it definitely did haunt me because I was like, oh, I want more shading on that crown, and oh, it caused problems for me. I think, though, that some of the mistake with the bands kind of got hidden when I colored them a little bit, but not much. Like, we still have problems there. That's a secret, you know. Sometimes if you color it really well, it'll hide some construction problems. And I don't suggest that. I do not suggest that as a bad habit. Don't actually do it or make that like a foundation of your art. Do it right. And it's usually easier to color too, but sometimes you can compensate with coloring and contouring and make up for some mistakes that you made that it's just like, nope, I'm gonna let this go. This is just a fun pleasure piece, which is exactly what this was. Now we're getting to like little final touches because this is the point where I really am about to start overworking the piece. Oh, yeah, I had forgotten that I had never done anything with the legs, and I decided I would do fishnet hose, which is, I know, like, some people are going to be looking at that gray color going down and be like, whoa, what is this? That is hosiery that's going down. I am terrible at drawing fishnet pattern. Please be gentle. Thoughts and prayers for these fishnets that just are so unflattering for her legs. In fact, you'll see me like undo, redo, erase, and whatnot over and over and over on these fishnets so much. Like, the one leg looks okay, the other leg is like, what is that mess? So I had to erase it all and try again. I think I even end up erasing the other leg because I just want them to look to match, and I just was struggling to achieve that effect. They don't ever really match, but it looked good enough that I was like, we'll just let that sit. And then now I feel like I'm getting pretty close to where I want to just call the end of the piece and check everything and like get rid of some little specks on the side and clean it up. And now I'm playing with brushes, trying to figure out how I want to kind of frame her in some way that's just kind of, so she's not just floating in empty space. That's something I see a lot of artists do on Instagram, and I really kind of like the effect. So I wanted to get that for myself on this piece. It's just something that kind of adds a little oomph. Oh, and for her crown, I had picked the green mushroom only because Bowser does have green, and I really wanted to get that green element in there for Bowser. Because I opted not to do her turtle shell or anything. And I know everybody's doing Bowsette and stuff with the pink mushroom, but I really, really, really just wanted to focus on bringing the green element into her eyes and that crown and stuff for the actual Bowser side of things, and a slightly more yellow skin for to kind of match Bowser. So this is the finished piece. Oh, no, we're not quite finished. I was doing some last minute touch-ups because I had to fix the hunchbacks there. And so here we have the finished piece now. I think it came out okay. It's not one of my best pieces, but I'm happy with what it is. And I think it's cute, and I'm proud to post it. And thank you for joining me for my first speed paint. I learned a lot about handling the editing software and stuff with this video, because I've never actually even made a speed paint before, or learning how to record them properly. So it was fun. And if you want to kind of see these some more and encourage me, please like, subscribe, leave a comment too about what I could do better, and I will definitely see that and get back to you and take that advice to heart. If you're curious about other artworks I've done, I have an Instagram. I stream art on Twitch. I have a DeviantArt where you could actually go see this in like a larger format and kind of really get in there better than you could with a YouTube video. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.